Once upon a time, in a quiet suburban neighborhood, there lived a couple named Mark and Sarah. They had been married for over a decade and had always appeared to be the picture-perfect couple to their friends and neighbors. However, behind closed doors, their relationship was starting to show cracks. Mark, a successful businessman, had been experiencing mounting stress and pressure at work. The long hours and constant demands were taking a toll on his mental and emotional well-being. Unfortunately, he often found himself unable to cope with his stress in a healthy manner, and it began to affect his relationship with Sarah. Sarah, a talented artist, had been trying her best to support Mark during this difficult time. She was understanding and patient, but the constant tension in their household was becoming unbearable for her as well. She missed the connection they once shared and longed for the loving and caring partner Mark used to be. One evening, after a particularly challenging day at work, Mark returned home feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. Sarah, hoping to lighten the mood, had prepared a special dinner and set the table with their finest china. However, as Mark walked through the door, he barely acknowledged her efforts, consumed by his own frustrations. As they sat down to eat, the tension in the air was palpable. Sarah tried to engage Mark in conversation, but he responded with short, dismissive answers. The silence grew thicker with every passing moment, until finally, Sarah couldn't bear it any longer. "Mark, we need to talk," she said, her voice trembling slightly. Mark looked up, his expression a mixture of exhaustion and frustration. "Not now, Sarah. I have had a long day, and I just need some peace and quiet." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as she felt her heart breaking. "But Mark, we can't keep going on like this. We're drifting apart, and I miss the connection we used to have." Suddenly, Mark's frustration got the better of him. He slammed his fist on the table, causing the dishes to rattle and Sarah to jump in surprise. "I told you I need some peace and quiet. Can't you understand that?" Fear gripped Sarah's heart as she watched her husband's anger escalate. She had never seen him like this before. She stood up slowly, trying to maintain her composure. "Mark, I love you, but we can't ignore our problems. We need to find a way to communicate and work through this together." Mark, his face flushed with anger, stood up abruptly and stormed out of the dining room. Sarah followed him, pleading with him to stop and listen. But as they reached their bedroom, their argument reached its peak. Voices were raised, accusations were made, and emotions ran wild. The once loving couple found themselves caught in a whirlwind of anger, hurt, and frustration. The neighbors, alarmed by the commotion, called the police. Within minutes, the police arrived, diffusing the heated situation and ensuring the safety of both Mark and Sarah. They encouraged the couple to seek professional help to address their issues and provided them with information about counseling services. Over time, with the guidance of a therapist, Mark and Sarah learned healthier ways to cope with stress and communicate their needs effectively. It wasn't an easy journey, but their commitment to each other and their shared history gave them the strength to work through their problems. Gradually, the atmosphere in their home began to change. The tension dissipated, replaced by open conversations and genuine efforts to understand one another. Mark and Sarah rediscovered the love and compassion that had drawn them together in the first place. Their domestic dispute served as a turning point in their relationship, leading them down a path of healing and growth. As they rebuilt their trust and reconnected on a deeper level, They became an inspiration to others facing similar challenges, proving that with commitment, understanding, and the right support, even the most fractured relationships can be repaired.